Today's podcast is sponsored by the Mahone Library. Come in for the books, stay for the games, gear, and the comfiest seating in the building.
Hello, Mustangs. We're the Mustang Mix. We're your co-hosts, Nasira,
Oliver,
Maximus,
and Arun.
Welcome to the first episode of the Mustang Mix, everybody. Today, we have a special guest to celebrate the first podcast, our very own principal, Mr. Germain. We'll be asking him some questions about his career as principal of Mahone. I'll ask the first question. Mr. Germain, what is the hardest part about being a principal?
I think the hardest part about being a principal is, especially in a big school like this, we've got over 100 staff, we have around 1,000 students, is just understanding that when you make decisions, like not everybody's going to be happy with it. So a lot of times I'll have people come to me with an idea and they've got really good reasons for why they want to do something. And before I make that decision, it's really important that I go and talk to other people because it might help them, but it could end up hurting people in different areas. So that's kind of a tough thing. You always want to make everybody happy, but as a principal, you've got to have tough skin because you're really never going to make everybody happy. So I just try and make sure whatever we decide for the school, we're doing what's best for kids.
Yeah, that sounds a lot like Mahone. Another question I have is, do you see the school going the way you envisioned it?
Yeah, I think we're off to a great start this year. Our attendance has been good. I feel like our behaviors have been down. It's been off to a good start. It's really hard to plan for the year. Like in the summer is actually one of our busier times, kind of in August, really especially getting ready for the school year. And you always have unexpected things that pop up, but this is kind of a nice time of the year because we're kind of in the flow, everything's up and running, and any of those little snags that pop up, we've got kind of ironed out.
Yeah, I definitely understand that. Like, things can get really complicated.
Yeah, even
like
in our own experience as well, running this.
Yeah,
this was messy.
Yeah, when you try to manage things, it all just sometimes it just falls apart and you need to regroup, rethink things. And yeah, it's kind of how you do it.
Well, that's how you get better. You just, when those little things pop up, you work through them and you learn from them and just keep doing better each time.
Yeah, you just learn from your mistakes.
I have a question. What influenced you to work at Mahone?
So I've worked here since it opened. Actually, when I went to interview for this job, the building wasn't even built yet. It was just the structure of the building. I actually did my interview to become a teacher here over at Indian Trail. And I think what it drew me to Mahone was the excitement of starting a new school. That was cool, I thought, to be able to be a part of, no kid had ever set foot in this building. And we get to make the school what we want it to be. Our original principal, Brian Edwards, was amazing. So he's somebody I consider a mentor and really inspiring. And I definitely, working for him was a draw to the building too. But I think just being able to create a culture, and when he talked about his vision for the school and the Circle of Courage and everything like that, that drew me to work here.
Is your backpack heavier than a small refrigerator? Well then, stop the madness. It's Sora, the digital reading app that lives in your Books at Your Library folder in ClassLink. Thousands of free ebooks and audiobooks, instant access. Less bulk, more awesome. Go open Sora and get reading today.
So you're a real OG.
I'm about as OG as you can get. Yeah, I was a teacher here for science and math, and then was dean of students, then assistant principal, and now principal.
How can we help improve the school?
I think the biggest thing that students can do is just to be the circle. Belonging, being here as much as you can. Generosity, being kind to each other, independence, being self-disciplined, making good decisions here at school, following the rules, and mastery, just doing your best each day. If everybody did all four of those things each day, this would just be an amazing place to be. And a lot of students do those things each day, and our staff do those things. And I just appreciate them because they're what really makes our school great.
Here, I've got a question. What is something that, if you could add anything to the school, what would you want to add to the school?
That's a good question. I think we've tried to add things that make things more enjoyable for students. A few years ago, we decided to let students use their phones at lunch. And there was a lot of people that were no, we shouldn't do that. What if kids bully each other with their phones and things like that? And it's we've got to give them the chance to show that they can handle it. And then if certain kids aren't able to, we can deal with that. But I think that's been a really good things for kids at lunch. Last year, bringing grade level dances to the school, I think was a real positive. Kids really enjoyed those things. We're trying to do more at the socials. I've actually got a survey that's going to come out for students next week about socials, just to see if there's ways we can make them even more fun or better for students. But I'm always looking for ways for students to be able to create more memories here and have an enjoyable time in their 3 years here at Mahone.
Yeah, that's really cool, though. I remember phones were like a big thing they talked about when I was in 5th grade going into 6th grade. When Mr. Bishop came to our school, Pleasant Prairie, and he started like talking about what things at Mahone would be like.
And he also talked about how the 6th graders got their phones taken away at that time. And yeah, that was something that we were a little bit like nervous for, that would we get the same thing. And yeah, but we did not get that because we maintained our discipline.
A question I have is, how are you handling the current situation of the school and the kids at the school?
Like the school and the kids at the school, or the school and
like
my
the
own
students.
children?
I mean, like the students at the school. Like, how do you handle problems that will arise?
I guess it depends what the problem is. Like, I'm always open. My door is always open for students. I'll have students email me sometimes, just, hey, they've got a problem. They want to talk to me. I'm not always free right in the moment. Like sometimes I'm busy, but I do always try and get back to those students either by email or in person, like by the end of the day usually. So yeah, I like sitting down with students and working with students to kind of help them out with problems. One of the really great things at Mahone is there's a lot of different adults here to support everybody. So if students have problems, they know they can go to their counselor. They've got their dean. They've got myself. They've got Mr. T. So there's a lot of different adults to help them out. But yeah, I'm always happy to help students out with any kind of problems.
That must be your favorite part of the job, right?
Sometimes, yeah, because it can be really rewarding. Like it does feel good when you help somebody out and you can see that you actually made their day better. Like I think that's one of the most rewarding things about being in education.
How was the Mahone Circle created?
So it actually comes from a Native American philosophy, and there's a book called Reclaiming Youth at Risk. It was written by Martin Brokenleg, and we did that as a book study when the building first opened. And we kind of decided to take that on as kind of our guidepost for character for students, but it actually comes from a Native American philosophy.
There you go, folks. That's your fun fact of the day. Is there anything else you'd like to add?
No, just I think that this was a great idea for you guys to create this podcast. I love student-generated ideas and clubs and structures. So, like you said, this is your first one. I'm sure you'll learn from this one, and it's just going to only get better and better from here.
I hope
Thanks
so.
for having me.
Hopefully.
Yes. Yeah, thanks for tuning in to the very first episode of the Mustang Mix, Mustangs. We appreciate your support and look forward to bringing you more news, entertainment, and updates next week. Stay tuned and have a good week.